Unlike in medieval times, you don't guard the Citadel guards you. Hello everybody, welcome back to Go Big Boar or Go Home, where recoil is required. Why? Because we're the house of the rising gun. Today we're going to be reviewing the Citadel 1911 Government 5-inch. This is imported by Legacy Sports International, and it's actually made in the Philippines at the same factory as the Rock Island Armories. I was real curious about this gun because the 460 Roland website actually says that this is a good platform for conversion. So I decided about 2 years ago to buy one, and obviously I've liked it enough to keep it, but let's kind of get close and take a look at the features, talk about what you get with your money, and talk about accuracy and reliability. Okay guys, so let's take a look at the Citadel 5-inch Government 1911. Now, this is imported by Legacy Sports International, but it is made, as I stated before, in the Philippines at the same factory where Rock Island Armory makes their guns. So just to give you kind of the basics, this is kind of a extra features or modern features 1911 in 45 ACP, and it comes with one 8-round magazine made by ACT. No, it came with two. I'm sorry, two 8-round magazines made by ACT. It has wood grips with the kind of traditional diamond look. It has front and rear cocking serrations, ambidextrous extended safeties, the skeletonized trigger and hammer, and it has the beaver tail, which is really nice. However, I will point out this is not an adjustable trigger, so it's kind of like the one downside. But this gun I paid, I think, $520 for. I'll put up the MSRP currently on. I got this on a Black Friday sale. So it's a lot of bang for your buck, considering. One thing about the gun, well, two things about the gun that aren't stock is I put on some night sights, but these are Rock Island Armory factory night sights because I figured they would be an easy fit, which if you're considering changing these sights, they're apparently welded on. I didn't know that, and neither did my gunsmith. Poor guy spent a lot of work putting those on. And then I put on a smooth back strap here. It comes stock with a plastic one that's checkered. Again, I don't like the plastic ones. This is something that I just don't care for. So I put on a metal one, and I'm planning on using the 460 Roland on this, so I went with a smooth one. Now, ironically, I'm borrowing this magazine from my Gerson because the stock one that came with it, as you can see, I've kind of chewed up a little bit because I originally was going to put a magwell on this gun, and anytime I put a magwell on here, you know, if it doesn't fit, I'll get the magazines to fit. These were the only ones that didn't, so they're a little chewed up and ugly, so I'm kind of leaving those out for the moment. In taking it out to the range, I did have some malfunctions initially with these stock magazines. Now, one of the things I will say, and I'll grab the other stock one here, this stock magazine, the stock spring here was super stiff. And I've since replaced it with a different spring, but I had issues with these. So I put in the other magazine, they work well, but one of the side effects is that the slide stop doesn't want to work anymore. Whereas, you know, this one that came with the Gerson, which by the way, the spring was fine, it locks open just fine. So back to my shooting experience though. The only issues I had were with the stock magazines. When I used Wilson Combat, 47D and 920 series, no malfunctions. Springfield Armory 7 rounds, no malfunctions. Chip McCormick, no malfunctions. So you get to see what I'm saying. So I wasn't a fan of the stock mags, but once I swapped out the springs, they fed more reliably. Once and I'll be honest, I didn't really have any other issues after that, except occasionally the slide stop wouldn't lock open on the last shot. Ironically, one of the things that has developed over time, and I think it's due to an issue with the spring in the slide stop detent, which goes in a little tube here, is that the gun will occasionally lock open when I'm shooting. Now it's an easy thing because, you know, you just hit the slide stop and it goes forward. I'm not entirely sure that isn't me, but it is something that's resolvable. But as far as failure to feed, stovepipes, failure to extract, failure to eject, this gun doesn't jam. It's remarkably reliable. And this, I just swapped out the spring and I'm going to test a little more. I think that's going to be a fixable problem. So the accuracy on this was really good. Now I did two tests. My first test had a low of 2 1/8 inches for a group, up to 4 1/8 inches, for an average of 2 3/4 inches. All of my tests were done at 11 yards / 10 meters, standing, with 230 grain ammo. And I have fed this though gold dots, Hornady XTPs, I have fed it Hydra-Shocks, I have fed it several other hollow points. This thing hasn't jammed on anything. It's eaten everything I've given it, so really thrilled with that. My second test, again, same parameters, 2 5/8 of an inch to 4 5/8 of an inch, for an average of 3 1/2 inches. Between the two, it's 3 1/8 inch. So again, you know, you could do better, but at this price point, that's pretty dang good. So I'm pretty happy with that. The weight came out to be 40.46 ounces or 2.53 pounds. The average trigger pull after 5 pulls was 4 pounds, 6.1 ounces, so just under 4.5 pounds, which I thought was actually pretty darn good. Something I really didn't like, but at the same time is easily fixed, and that's these grips. They look pretty normal and pretty uncomfortable, but I'll turn it this way and you can see they're pretty thick. And compared to, I'll use a Gerson, a different 1911 here, you can see the Gerson isn't as thick. Yeah. And so those thicker grips, you would think, oh, well, you know, some people like them, some people don't. Well, I hate them, because what was weird is my palms started getting fatigued very quickly. And in earnest, I've never had that experience with any firearm. It was very strange. You know, I was out there shooting a lot the first time I was testing it with these grips, but I was kind of surprised. I've never had that fatigue before on my palm. I found it uncomfortable. So I've got these on here obviously for the review, but I'm going to change them back to some different grips that I have that are thinner, that are more standard 1911 like thickness. So that would just be an advice from me, is to get rid of those grips and to get something that's thinner and more comfortable. But overall, yeah, this gun really had a lot of good things going for it. It's pretty standard as far as 1911s go. It does have a full-length guide rod, which some people love, some people don't. As far as I'm concerned, hey, it functions really well. There's no problems there. But overall, yeah, I really liked it. So let's go to the hits, the misses, and the final shot, and let's wrap this up. Hey guys, sorry for a quick interruption. I just wanted to share that since I started doing the filming for this review, I've gotten a chance to change out the plunger spring here for the detent that holds the slide lock down. It did actually make a difference as from cylinder to slide, and I noticed the only 2 lock opens I had in 100 rounds was one when I was accidentally hitting the tip of the magazine with my left hand, and one where I actually think that my right hand thumb was getting a little too close to this. So I think those were probably the reasons why the gun has been locking open. With the new spring, that seems to be a thing of the past as long as I keep my thumbs in the right place. User error is a thing. So just wanted to share that. In other news, I did have one failure to feed malfunction with it, but again, that's pretty much the only failure to feed or malfunction of any kind I've had with this gun. So wanted to give you guys that update. Anyway, on to the hits, the misses, and the final shot. So there you have it, guys. There's a review of the Citadel 1911 in the 5-inch government length. Let's go ahead and break it down and talk about the good stuff, the bad stuff, and what we finally think. So, the hits. This gun is really accurate for the money. I really cannot believe how accurate it is. Number 2, the price point. I mean, this is dirt cheap. I picked it up for $520. They're a little bit more expensive now, but not bad, and very affordable with a lot of great features. And number 3 on the hits would be that I think this is actually quite reliable and sturdy. Like I've said, it has some issues with it locking open that I'm ironing out right now, but I have no doubt those can be ironed out. And other than that, this thing eats everything I feed it. For a reliable 1911 in this price point, I'm impressed. The misses. First and foremost, the grips. Good Lord, I hate these grips. They're just a little too wide, they're uncomfortable, they fatigue my hand, and it's kind of annoying that they come that way stock. So if you're gonna get one, I would definitely recommend changing out the grips. Number 2, would definitely be the fact that you don't get the adjustable trigger. I mean, for all the features that you got, how much would that have cost them to stick that on there? Would have been a nice feature, and it's kind of a bummer that it misses out on that. And number 3, standard 1911 thing is it's single stack only. So as much as I do love a good 1911, especially a good reliable one, it is kind of a bummer that you're missing out on capacity. So there you have it, guys. Bottom line, what do I think for the final shot? If you want a 1911 that's reliable at an economy price, you really should check these out. You really should. I think you'll be really happy. They're really good guns. So let me know what you think in the comments below about the Citadel. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more content. We really appreciate your support. If you didn't enjoy it, I thank you very much for giving us a try and making it this far. And as always, guys, go big bore or go home.